Hi, I'm Jimmy Toner, and you're watching Capital OTB.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Horses and Courses, our post-Breeders' Cup edition. A very busy weekend, obviously. Before we get to Breeders' Cup action, we're going to begin in Kentucky. We're going to finish off the Keeneland meet with Saturday's running of the Grade 3 Fayette for older horses. Let's head to Kentucky, the running of the Fayette.
And they're off. Mambo Train and Trapped Again have early speed, and there goes On Thin Ice from the far outside. Lord of the Game moves up to join that front group heading into the first turn. Mambo Train gets over to the rail, has the early advantage by 3/4 of a length, and now leads it by almost a full length, but Lord of the Game kicks in from the outside and moves up into second. Trapped Again gets over toward the rail third. On Thin Ice is fourth. Alumni Hall is fifth and running 3 lengths off the lead, followed by Shanico on the outside of Fantastic Cat, and then Habaneros and a gap of 7 more lengths back to MBC. Opening quarter 23 and 2/5 seconds. Mambo Train leading Lord of the Game by 3/4 of a length on to the back stretch. On Thin Ice is third on the far outside. Alumni Hall is alongside of Trapped Again. Those two both just over 2 lengths off the lead. Gap of 2 more to Fantastic Cat inside of Shanico. That one running 4 lengths from the front. Gap of 3 more to Habaneros. Another 4 back of that one to MBC. The half in 47 and 3/5 seconds. Mambo Train, Lord of the Game, On Thin Ice from the rail out. Alumni Hall is now moving up in the center of the track, 4 lanes off the rail. There goes Alumni Hall to challenge Lord of the Game, and On Thin Ice between those two. Mambo Train drops back a bit into fourth, now 1 length off the lead as they come for the quarter pole. Then Trapped Again, Fantastic Cat, nothing from Shanico. MBC moving by that one, then Habaneros is last. Top of the stretch, On Thin Ice, a stubborn foe for Alumni Hall. MBC is still 5 lengths away, but coming on the far outside as they move for the 8th pole. Alumni Hall puts a head in front from On Thin Ice. MBC just keeps charging in the center of the racetrack from third. Trapped Again is running toward the rail in fourth. Alumni Hall, On Thin Ice, MBC still third. Trapped Again is fourth. Alumni Hall gets a narrow lead for Calvin Borrell. Here's the line. Alumni Hall takes it by a half length. On Thin Ice second, then MBC, and Trapped Again. The time 1 minute 51 and 1/5 seconds.
Alumni Hall decided to keep this guy out of Breeders' Cup competition. Probably smart move. He ends up winning by about a half length over On Thin Ice with MBC, one of those solid campaigners in the Midwest, with a 5-wide move, gathering ground to finish third. The winner, Alumni Hall, is a 6-year-old chestnut son of AP Indy from Private Status by Aladar, bred in Kentucky by William S. Farish, James Elkins, and Temple Weber Jr., owned by the breeder and trained by Neil Howard, ridden to victory by Cal Burrell. Alumni Hall covers the mile in an 1/8 on closing day at Keeneland in 1:51 and 1. Closing day at Keeneland on Saturday must mean opening day at Churchill Downs on Sunday, and the traditional stakes feature for the opening of their late fall meet is the ACAC. This is for 3-year-olds and up, grade $300,000. Let's head back to Kentucky, the running of the ACAC.
They're all in line. Off and running in the ACAC handicap. Vicarage broke like a shot and takes command early. Fritz Jules' flashing speed will prop that one from the inside in second. Sterling Gold third. Nicosi Reigns on the outside came away in fourth. Straight Lines moving up in traffic from the 5th spot now with level playing field. And Artemis Sunrise next by 3 more to go now, second last. And Nakayama Kun is the early trailer. They string out early, 10 lengths front to back up the backside. The gray Fritz Jules in front by a neck. And the favorite Vicarage is pressing him harder. Second, Straight Line up into third ahead. Artemis Sunrise down along the inside, fourth by 2. Nicosi Reigns in level playing field. They're right together. Sterling Gold's about 9 off the pace. A neck in front of Go Now, and a gap of 3 back to Nakayama Kun. Opening quarter 22 and 4, half in 44 and 2 around the turn. Vicarage shrugging off. Fritz Jules takes the lead and goes clear. Straight Line is charging gamely up into second on the far outside now, and Fritz Jules is under pressure at the rail, passed by our team is Sunrise. As they turn for home in the stretch drive, it's Vicarage off the turn, leading the way, 3 parts of a length in front. A challenge from Straight Line on the outside, next by 3 more now. Level Playing Field gears it up into third, down to the final furlong. Straight Line taking the lead. Vicarage no response in second, 3 back to Level Playing Field third. It's Straight Line and Sean Bridge-Mahan clear. Straight Line, an upset winner in the Yak-Yak Handicap. Straight Line by a length and 3/4. Vicarage was second, Level Playing Field was third.
Straight Line loves this racetrack, a big horse for course, and goes off at over 9-1 and picks up a length and 3/4 victory. Close to the pace every step of the way. That pace provided by Vicarage, who held on well to finish second. 5.5-1 shot. Level Playing Field, another horse for course, with a 6-wide bid to finish third. The winner, Straight Line, is a dark bay or brown son of Boundary from Zantee by Strawberry Road, bred in Kentucky by Alex Rankin and Lewis Wright, owned by Nancy Veneer and Cartwright Thoroughbreds, and trained by Harvey Veneer, ridden to victory by Sean Bridge-Mahan. Straight Line runs the 7.5 furlongs at Churchill in 1:28.1. We're going to head to the West Coast now for a pair of stakes races, beginning with the Moravich on the turf course out at Santa Anita, 6.5 furlongs, grade 3 on the downhill turf. Let's head to California, the running of the Moravich.
Racing. Out wide, Shadow of Illinois bounds out briskly. King Robin is going very fast, and so is Mighty Bow in the white cap. Sagani on their outside, followed fifth by Jungle Prince, and then comes Courageous King towards the tail with Geronimo and Royal Place. 6 lengths covers the field, and Mighty Bow goes through at the half mile to be the leader, just over a length from Shadow of Illinois, and King Robin towards the inside, 1.5 lengths Sagani, 2 to Jungle Prince on the outside of Courageous King, and Geronimo and Royal Place of the last pair. It's Mighty Bow showing the way. Mighty Bow going very fast by 2.5 lengths to King Robin, another 2.5 to Shadow of Illinois. Courageous King getting up on his inside with Sagani fifth, a bit wide coming to the quarter pole. Jungle Prince even wider, Royal Place behind those, and Geronimo is last of all. It's Mighty Bow coming for home with a 3-length lead. He has set a wicked pace. He's about 2.5 in front with King Robin in second, and then comes Courageous King and the yellow silks, and Geronimo and the pink is starting to gain late. Mighty Bow is the leader, but he's shortening stride, taken on by King Robin, Courageous King, Geronimo, and Jungle Prince out wide. King Robin just in front. Geronimo dives, and I think Geronimo from either King Robin, Courageous King, or Jungle Prince out wide in a blanket finish to the Moravich Handicap.
Geronimo liking that downhill turf course and getting a victory by a head from well back off the pace after over-pace presser. King Robin with Jungle Prince rallying at 16.5-1 to finish third with a 6-wide bid. The winner, Geronimo, is a 6-year-old chestnut gelding, a son of Gold Tribute from Mrs. Lily by Mosito Guapo, bred in Chile by the Aras Don Alberto and owned by Gary and Cecil Barber, trained by John Sadler and ridden to victory by Kent DeSormo. Geronimo covers the 6.5 furlongs on the downhill turf in 1:12 flat. From sprinters on the turf to rooters on the turf, Sundays feature the Carlton F. Burke, a grade 3 at 1.5 miles on the grass. Let's head back to Santa Anita and the Carlton F. Burke.
And where they go. They broke as one horse. On the far side, we have Wild Buddy, and down at the rail, Courtly Jazz. Those two sprint away early to lead it by 3 lengths. Getting up to race third comes Stage Shy. Star Pupil is on the outside of that, and At Dawn down at the rail, Golden Rahi will be the early trailer. Down the hill they come, at the top of the hill, and it's Courtly Jazz now just in front. On the outside, Wild Buddy right there second. Then back to Stage Shy, who's quite comfortable in the third spot. They're not in any hurry at all out here. At Dawn has the blue cap towards the rear. In behind that comes Star Pupil, and Golden Rahi is at the back. Only 6 lengths would cover them all. Coming to the top of the stretch first time round. And Courtly Jazz still in front, just over a length. In the second spot is Wild Buddy. On the outside now comes Star Pupil now moving up to take third. Then there's At Dawn. Stage Shy hasn't really lost any ground, although she's moved back to fourth, but she's still only 3 lengths off the leaders, and 2.5 to Golden Rahi, very comfortable at the back. 1 lap to go in the Carlton F. Burke, and Courtly Jazz continues to show the way with Star Pupil now putting a little pressure on it from second. Then we come back to Wild Buddy, comfortable in third, been followed by Stage Shy in the white cap, only 3 lengths off these leaders. In behind that comes At Dawn, and Golden Rahi, 5 lengths would cover the lot. Half the journey covered now, and still Courtly Jazz is in front by 1 length. On the outside we have Star Pupil and Wild Buddy tucked in third. Stage Shy is fourth, only 2.5 off them. Golden Rahi in the red cap at the rail is only 4 lengths off the leaders now, and At Dawn outside of that. They move past the half-mile pole, and Courtly Jazz, not been taken on yet, leads it by a length to Star Pupil. On the inside, Wild Buddy. In behind that comes Stage Shy, who's now 3.5 off them. Then we come back to Golden Rahi, and At Dawn, 6 lengths covers them all. 3/8 of a mile left to go, and Courtly Jazz kicks on for home with Star Pupil right there. Wild Buddy third, Stage Shy in the white cap on the outside. Golden Rahi just needs somewhere to run in the red cap, and then At Dawn, it's wide open. At the top of the lane now, Courtly Jazz the leader. Along the inside, Wild Buddy. Gold Rahi hooked to the outside, and here's Gold Rahi in the red cap coming flying, and Stage Shy going with him now. Stage Shy on the inside, Wild Buddy. Golden Rahi grandstand side. Golden Rahi, Wild Buddy. Golden Rahi wins it ahead to Gold Buddy. Stage Shy was third, then Courtly Jazz, Star Pupil, and At Dawn was last.
Golden Rahi making up a little bit for a couple of disappointments on Saturday's card for Bobby Frankel at Belmont Park. A nice victory here by a neck. A game effort over Wild Buddy with Stage Shy back in the third spot. The winner, Golden Rahi, is a chestnut gelding, a son of Rahi out of Golden Fleet by deputed testimony, bred in Kentucky by J.T. Alvarez III, L.B. Harn, Gainsborough Farm, and R.N. Clay, owned by J.T. Alvarez III Family Trust, and trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Alex Solis. Golden Rahi covers the 1.5 miles at Santa Anita in 2:27 flat. We're going to head to Belmont Park next, and Friday's stakes feature the Nashua, Grade 3 flat mile for 2-year-olds. Let's head to New York in the running of the Nashua.
And away they go, broken a perfect line. Too Much Bling from the outside gate. Now Diabolical in the black is taking over. Southern Success in the red colours right there as well. Here's Bluegrass Cat moving up smartly on the inside to take the second position. Express News in the teal colours racing just behind the leaders. Then it's Great News and Congo King. On the outside we have Too Much Bling, who broke well but has now dropped 4 off them and it has to go 5 wide. In behind that comes Bear Character in the orange colours. Then we come back to Political Force, who's giving them 6-length start and changing where the trails. They run to the half-mile pole, and Diabolical is the leader. Express News right there in second. On the outside of that is Great Point to close up third. On the inside of those two is Bluegrass Cat in the white colours, just needing somewhere to run now. Too Much Blink on the outside starts his run now, and here comes Too Much Bling. The grey on the outside going to take second and put pressure on the leaders. Then we drop back to Political Force, Congo King changing weather behind that, and then Bear Character. They're at the top of the lane, and Diabolical tries to hold on. Too Much Bling is now breathing down his neck in second, and on the inside, Bluegrass Cat going well. Can Bluegrass Cat find somewhere to go? He's got nowhere to go. Diabolical still the leader. Bluegrass Cat now inching out and coming between horses. Too Much Bling is on the outside of those two, and coming home gamely, Political Force on the outside. Past the 16th pole they come, and it's Bluegrass Cat in front. Bluegrass Cat 1.5 lengths, and coming home stylishly, chased every yard of the way by Political Force. But it's Bluegrass Cat to win the Nashua. Second Political Force, then came Diabolical. Congo Cat. Behind that was Changing Weather. Too Much Bling, and behind that Bear Character.
Bluegrass Cat, a little bit of an upset in here at 4-1. A nice effort by Bluegrass Cat, a son of Storm Cat, to kick clear by 1.25 lengths over Political Force, who was running very well late. He's been a little bit of a head case, kind of a difficult horse, apparently to handle and to ride. Probably one of the bumpiest starting incidents that I've ever seen. Almost every horse in this 10-horse field has the comment bump start, all but 2 getting into a bit of a tangle at the beginning, but and Political Force right in the middle of it, but Diabolical ended up going to the front, getting clear, and holding on well to finish third. The winner, Bluegrass Cat, is the son of Storm Cat from She's a Winner by AP Indy, bred in Kentucky by the Windstar Farm and owned by the breeder. Trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden to victory by John Velasquez, Bluegrass Cat runs the mile at Belmont in 1:36 flat. We're going to continue now with a pair of stakes races at Belmont on Saturday, leading into the Breeders' Cup card, beginning with the Sport Page for older sprinters, a Grade 3 going 7 furlongs. Let's head to Belmont in the Sport Page.
And they're off. Hasty Chris breaks on top, and there goes Voodoo coming on through between horses down toward the inside. Value Plus. Captain Squire's right there in the early mix and got a ghost of a chance up the backstretch. And it's Voodoo. Captain Squire right there with him on the outside. Value Plus has room and holds his spot at the rail. Got a ghost of a chance working hard to stay within close striking range of the early leaders. Brand Name comes through between horses. He's now 5th. Hasty Chris on the far outside is 6th. And Silver Wagon is 7th on the inside. But he's only about 5 lengths from the lead as the field moves into the far turn. A break of 6 to Joey P, who's wide and struggling, and another half dozen lengths back to Wild Tail. Around the far turn, and that first quarter was 22-2, and Voodoo opens up. Voodoo's got a 5-length lead around the far turn. Captain Squire runs second. Value Plus on the inside third. Brand Name in an all-out drive here on the outside. Rallies up from 4th. And it's 3 lengths back. Got a ghost of a chance is now 5th. Silver Wagon is still about 7 lengths from the lead. Voodoo heads for home. But they're gaining on Voodoo. The lead's down to a length. Value Plus comes through on the inside. Silver Wagon hitting his best stride, but he's trapped, boxed in at the rail. On the outside, Captain Squire, 1 furlong to go. Voodoo's Weglary on the outside, Captain Squire. Silver Wagon finally gets some running room. Value Plus is there, and Wild Tail from the next county. Here's the wire. Got a ghost of a chance. Got there in the last stride. Followed by Captain Squire and Wild Tail, who came from way out of it, and it's a photo for 4th.
Got a ghost of a chance and Captain Squire, both with an opportunity to go to the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Both of them taking a pass and running 1-2 here. Neither one of them favored, interestingly enough, but Got a Ghost of a Chance comes in from California and gets the victory after being pinched back at the start over Captain Squire, who off of a win in the Ancient Title probably would have been well regarded in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Didn't even go off as the favorite in here. And Longshot Wild Tail, who had a little bit of trouble at the start, 20-1, rallied into the 3rd spot. Silver Wagon finishing in the 3rd spot after having some traffic, or 4th spot rather, after having some traffic trouble in the stretch, is the 2-1 choice. The winner, Got a Ghost of a Chance, is a Gray or Roan, gelded son of Silver Ghost from Foolish Kisses by Cannonade, bred in Maryland by Dr. Philip J. Tornsey Jr. and owned by Ross McLeod and Charles Ming, trained by Roger Stein and ridden to victory by John Court. And Got a Ghost of a Chance covers the 7 furlongs at Belmont and 123 flat. Right back to Belmont Park now in the running of the Grade 3 Discovery. This is the traditional opening day race at Belmont, or at Aqueduct. They decided to move it up to the end of Belmont, part of the supporting cast of stakes races on the Breeders' Cup weekend. It is for 3-year-olds going 1 1/8. Let's head back down to Belmont, the running of the Discovery.
And they're off. Tanny Morrow breaks together with Scrappy T and Quadrant in between those two. Warfront down toward the inside comes up to be 4th, and Spanish Mission is 5th. Magna Graduate comes out running in 6th. Watchman is 7th in the early going here, and then it's Buzzards Bay, who's rating back in 8th position. Scipion lingering near the back of the pack as he usually does. Freedom Isn't Free comes up on the inside, and Andromeda's Hero. And now Scipion has dropped out to trail the field as Scrappy T takes the field down the backstretch run. The opening quarter goes in 23-1. Scrappy T being prompted by Quadrant, and Warfront very eager. Just in behind the lead is Warfront running along in 3rd with 5 furlongs to go. Tanny Morrow's on the outside and in the clear in 4th. Spanish Mission reserved and taken to the outside as they move into the far turn, and then it's Magna Graduate. The quarter went in 23-1. The half was 46 and 4/5 seconds, and around the far turn, and it is still Scrappy T in control at the midway point on the far turn. Lets it out a notch to lead by almost 2 lengths now. Warfront ready to roll now, and Warfront comes off the rail to target Scrappy T as the field turns for home. Magna Graduate has made steady progress and saving ground all the way. Is now 3rd as the field turns for home, and Buzzards Bay is cut loose on the far outside, and Watchman at the rail. Scrappy T will arrive at the 8th pole with a 2-length lead, and Magna Graduate bearing down on him. Warfront has faded back to 3rd. Buzzards Bay, Scrappy T trying to hold off the oncoming Magna Graduate, who powers past, and Magna Graduate defeats Scrappy T by 3/4 of a length. Buzzards Bay was 3rd, and Andromeda's Hero came on well to be 4th.
Magna Graduate getting past a game Scrappy T, maybe just a little bit short on his return to New York here. Buzzards Bay rallying from far back off the pace to finish in the third spot. Magna Graduate never terribly far back off the pace. He was fairly close inside, rallying on the rail and coming out and taking on Scrappy T at about the furlong ground. Scrappy T held on well after setting the pace in the early going. Not an easy thing to do on this racetrack, as they were pretty much running into the wind up the back stretch at Belmont Park. Buzzards Bay, a nice move, as is his usual running style from well back. The winner, Magna Graduate, a 3-year-old dark bay or brown son of honor grades from Peacock Alley by Fast Play, was bred in Kentucky by Nicole Zatani and Raymond Rangel, owned by Elizabeth Alexander and trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Magna Graduate runs the mile in a 16th at Belmont in 1:41.1. We're going to pause for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at Saturday's Breeders' Cup card from Belmont Park. Please stay with us.
nybreads.com, the online home of North America's best incentive program. The latest news, updated throughout the day, plus streaming video of New York bred stakes winners. Check out the New York bred leaderboards for jockeys, trainers, owners, and breeders. Want to become an owner or breeder? Well, the New York Thoroughbred Breeders section tells you about upcoming new owner seminars and farm tours. You'll even find an online sales section with horses you can purchase right now. There's a directory of New York State farms, a stallion registry, plus up-to-date sales information complete with hip numbers and pedigree pages. Thinking of breeding your mare? First, go to nybreads.com and run a hypothetical mating with any registered New York-based stallion. And finally, at nybreads.com, you'll see why the New York Breeding and Racing Program is North America's best, with over $40 million a year in purses, incentives, and awards. So get with the program at nybreads.com.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with the Breeders' Cup card on Saturday at Belmont Park. Things kicking off at the Breeders' Cup. Juvenile fillies for 2-year-old fillies at a mile and a 16th. Let's head to Belmont and the juvenile fillies.
And they're off. And Adieu gets off to a good start, but Sensation is right there with her. And there goes Folklore. Folklore, Edgar Prado wasting no time to get her to the lead. So it's Folklore the leader down the backstretch run, remaining a bit off rail. Adieu just in behind her second. She says it best. Knights Templar, the Canadian filly, moving up to be third now. She says it best. Fourth on the outside. The Blinkered Along the Sea is closer to the pace today. She's now running in fifth. Diamond Omi is sixth, only 3 lengths from the lead. Original Spin off last is now seventh on the inside. Sensation is now near the back of the pack. Ex-Jalis situated on the far outside. 5 paths off the rail, a long way back to Wild Fit, way behind the rest today. And the pace is sharp, 22 3/5 seconds for that opening quarter mile. And 45-1 for the half. A testing pace, and now the Canadian fillies in front. It's Knights Templar the leader. Folklore right there and moving with her, stride for stride, second by 2. Original Spin is third. Along the Sea, fourth toward the inside. Adieu is backpedaling. She's going in the wrong direction. Ex-Chalis is coming on now. She's fifth and gaining ground. Sensation in behind horses is sixth. Wild Fit is stalled in traffic just when she was hitting her best stride. And here's Folklore again to the lead as the field turns for home, and Folklore comes off the turn, pulling away from Knights Templar. Ex-Chalis is now moving on the outside. In between horses, Original Spin and Wild Fit. Wild Fit is coming with a bold run on the outside, with Folklore to catch. Her lead is 3 lengths. Wild Fit coming hard at her. Time running out. Folklore in front. Wild Fit coming fast. Here's the wire, and Folklore wins. Folklore the winner by a length. Tough Luck Wild Fit was second. 5 lengths to a photo for show between Original Spin and Ex-Chalis.
Folklore, a terrific win by this filly. She really has looked superb all year long. A couple of excuses and a couple of her losses, but she really handled this group very, very nicely, getting the official length and a quarter victory over Wild Fit, who broke towards the outside, made a bit of a bid on the far turn, and really came running once they turned for home in a very wide position. Original Spin, giving chase in the early going. She actually moved forward when Knights Templar rushed up along the rail, made a nice bid, and was able to hold on well to finish third, just a neck or so, head or neck, in front of Ex-Chalis. The winner, Folklore, is a 2-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Tisnow from Contrive by Stormcat, bred in Kentucky by Bob and Beverly Lewis and owned by the breeder, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, who interestingly enough picked up his first ever Breeders' Cup victory with this win. Folklore covers the mile and a 16th at Belmont in 1:43.4. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile for the Colts and the Geldings, once again going a mile and a 16th out of the chute at Belmont. Let's head back to New York in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
And they're off. And Brother Derek breaking alertly. Henny Hughes has good early speed, and there goes Dawn of War, who is racing toward the front. They cross over onto the main track, and Dawn of War to be the early leader. Sorcerer's Stone is in the early mix. So too is Henny Hughes. Private Bow. Brother Derek is 5 off the rail. Dr. Pleasure is 6 off the rail. Then Satellite is 7th on the inside, saving ground and moving up. And Jealous Prophet in between horses is 8th. Jerry Bailey has First Samurai in 9th position, but they're only about 5 lengths from the front. Leo moves through an opening toward the inside, then European Ivan Desinovich, followed by Stevie Wonderboy. Garrett Gomez trying to settle him down. He's been positioned on the far outside. And then it's Superfly, who's 13th, and stretch running trailer is Stream Cat. The field moves into the far turn. Private Vow is absolutely bolted. Private Vow is bolted to the extreme outside. The quarter went in 23 flat, the half in 45.3. The pace is strong, and it's Henny Hughes going head-to-head with Dawn of War. On the outside, Brother Derek, and here comes First Samurai now, and Jerry Bailey sends him up after the lead with 3 furlongs to go. Jealous Prophet's in between horses. Stevie Wonderboy is only 4 lengths from the lead with a quarter mile to go. Superfly sent through in between horses. Sorcerer's Stone is there. Private Bow is dropped back, and the field turns for home. It's Henny Hughes on the inside, First Samurai on the outside, and Stevie Wonderboy closing in on them with 1 furlong to go. Henny Hughes in front. Edgar Prado pleading for just 1 more furlong. On the outside, Stevie Wonderboy, and he's giving his all. A 16th from home. Henny Hughes, Stevie Wonderboy. Here's the wire, and Stevie Wonderboy won it by a length.
Stevie Wonderboy in from California off of a bit of a freshening. They decided to pass on the Norfolk. It worked out well, and he ends up romping past a fatiguing but game Henny Hughes with First Samurai, the favorite in here at just over even money. A little bit difficult at the gate, a little bit rank early, and settling for 3rd. He did not make his finest appearance on the racetrack, I have to say. He looked a little bit washed out as they went through the post parade. Stevie Wonderboy looking absolutely wonderful and running to his appearance with a huge rallying move from nearly last to carry him to victory in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. The winner, Stevie Wonderboy, is a chestnut colt, the 2-year-old son of Stephen Got Even from Heat Lightning by Summer Squall, bred in Kentucky by John Gunther, Tony Holmes, and Walter Zent, owned by the Merv Griffin Ranch and trained by Doug O'Neill, ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Stevie Wonderboy covers the mile and a 16th at Belmont in 1:41.3. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Filly or Mare Turf. Of course, all these races Grade 1 this time, 1.25 miles for older fillies and mares on the grass. Let's head to Belmont and the Filly or Mare Turf.
And they're off. Sundrop with some early speed. Flip Flop is there. Risk Averse is in between those two. Wend is not far behind. Mona Lisa's forwardly placed today, but there goes Intercontinental out to race for the lead as they make their way for the first turn. So it's Intercontinental on the outside up for the lead. Wend is 2nd, and Mona Lisa not far behind on the outside 3rd. Risk Averse up close today, 4th toward the hedge. And then in between horses is Flip Flop running along in 5th position now. On the outside, it's Karen's Caper. She's 4 wide round the first turn, running in 6th. Sundrop 7th, and on hold on the inside. Ouija Board right there in mid-pack in this bulky field. She's running along in 8th position. Not far behind is Wonder Again. And then on the outside, Filmmaker, now launching a bid from about 10 lengths out of it, followed by Lewis Line, Favorable Terms, and Angara trails the field. And very keen up front is Intercontinental, who's setting the pace here. Rafael Bejarano trying to settle her down, but she was able to negotiate a half mile, 48 4/5 seconds, even over this off-going. That's a tepid pace for these fillies. Up top, Intercontinental now being challenged by Wend as they race for the half-mile pole. Karen's Caper looms on the outside, right there running a 3rd. Mona Lisa under a rod to stay up with the half-mile to go. Flip Flop continues to run on well. Ouija Board's only 5 lengths behind as they enter the far turn, followed by Lewis Line. Filmmaker is launching her bid. Wonder Again Again, still about 9 or 10 lengths out of it. Sundrop threads her way through. Risk Averse is tailing off, followed by Favorable Terms, Angara, and Megahertz is way behind. Megahertz has been trailing way behind the rest as the field turns for home. Intercontinental still in front, and she shakes loose. Here comes last year's champion Ouija board with Intercontinental to catch and 1 furlong to do it. Filmmaker on the outside third. Wend is now fourth, and Wonder again fifth on the outside. Coming down to the finish, and it is Intercontinental clear by 2.5. Ouija board and Filmmaker chasing her home, but it was a crafty ride by Rafael Bejarano who gets this front runner home. Intercontinental wins it by 1.5 lengths. Ouija board was second, Filmmaker was third, and Wonder again was fourth.
Intercontinental. Now, this horse has never really proven herself much beyond a mile, but and never on anything other than the firmest of turf courses. But here she ends up getting exactly what she needs, gets loose on the lead on a good surface. Bejarano, first time on this rather challenging mare, lets her go, kind of get to the lead and lets her relax a little bit. She often doesn't want to relax, but he took a long hold. She galloped right along at the top of the stretch. She was clearly in command. Ouija board made a very nice bid under Jerry Bailey, but fell short by about 1.25 lengths. Filmmaker, yet another solid performance from her, but she had again some trouble. Clipping heels and stumbling, having a little bit of difficulty, as is often the case in the early stages with Filmmaker. The winner, Intercontinental, is a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Danehill from Hasili by Kayasi, a younger sister to Banks Hill, who won this race as well. She was foaled in Great Britain. She is bred by Juddmonte Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Bobby Frankel, and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano. Intercontinental covers the 1.25 miles on the good turf in 2:02 and 1. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Sprint. For a lot of people, the most anticipated race on the card. Is Lost in the Fog going to continue his unbeaten streak or go down to defeat? Let's head back to Belmont Park and the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
2005, ready for the start, and they're off. And it is Attila Storm who breaks quickly. Attila Storm in Battle 1, Lost in the Fog. Wildcat Air right there in the mix of it in the early going. On the far outside, Elusive Jazz, Silver Train is now 6 toward the rail. 3 lengths back, Gaija Star is now 7th on the outside. Taste of Paradise, 8th toward the rail. Lifestyle near the back, Lion Tamer and Imperialism. 15 lengths from a battle up front, and a torrid battle it was, 22 flat. It's Attila Storm, Battle 1, and Lost in the Fog makes his move. There goes Lost in the Fog on the outside. 3 furlongs from the line, he got the lead. Wildcat Air fights on in between horses. Silver Train is 5th. Elusive Jazz 6th on the outside, and Taste of Paradise. Imperialism left with a lot to do, 10 lengths behind, and as they enter the stretch, it's the undefeated Lost in the Fog in front, but Attila Storm is battling him all the way down to the final furlong. Taste of Paradise trying to come on through, and he got stopped. Silver Train comes on the outside. Silver Train in front. Lost in the Fog will be defeated. Taste of Paradise trying to get on track again. Here he comes. Bold late run. Silver Train and Taste of Paradise photo. Silver Train and Taste of Paradise very close down to the line. Close for third as well. Attila Storm and Lion Tamer.
Silver Train pulling off a bit of an upset, about 12-1 here. In that 12-1 range, we had the top 3 finishers. In fact, Silver Train sitting off the pace, making a terrific bid after settling in good position inside, angling out to launch that bid. Taste of Paradise did have a little bit of traffic trouble, had to steady. He was trying to cut between horses as the gap was closing in front of him. He was able to, Gary Gomez able to take up and go outside, falling short by a game head. Lion Tamer getting into position late, making a nice bid inside of horses after a stumbling start to finish in the 3rd spot. Big surprise, I'm sure, to a lot of people in here was the 45-1 outsider Attila Storm, holding on very, very well to finish a game 4th in this field of 11. And of course, Lost in the Fog, very disappointing, finishing 7th. His first time ever in a non-winning performance. He was bounced around a little bit at the start as the odds-on choice, but was never really comfortable, never really looked like he had gotten into position. Obviously unable to strike the lead during the early stages, and that may have been the disadvantage for the heretofore undefeated Lost in the Fog, who will get a little bit of time off. I don't think they're going to run him again until next season when he begins his 4-year-old campaign. The winner, Silver Train, a dark bay or brown 4-year-old son of Old Trieste from Ridden in the Stars by Cormorant. He was bred in Kentucky by Joe Mulholland Jr., Joe Mulholland Sr. et al., owned by the Buckram Oak Farm, trained by Richard Dutrow and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, who was 0 for going in. Now he's got 2 victories in Breeders' Cup competition. Silver Train covers the 6 furlongs at Belmont, 108 and 4. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Mile, always one of the most contentious races on the card. An interesting race with a heavy favorite, Le Roi des Animaux, heading in with 2 bar shoes on. Let's head back down to New York in the running of the Breeders' Cup Mile.
They are in the gate for the Breeders' Cup Mile. And they're off. Singletary breaks on top. Le Roi des Animaux away running in second. Sandsprings is there. Odd Valorum is sent to the lead today. They make their bend into the backstretch now, and there goes the filly Sandsprings up to take the lead. Le Roi des Animaux got caught 4 wide round that first bend. Odd Valorum is second on the inside. Le Roi des Animaux is third. And then it's Singletary. David Flores backs him off. That potential battle up front, he's fourth. Funfair checked. Oh, checked so hard and has been taken up to last. Moving midway down the backstretch. Sandsprings, Odd Valorum, and Le Roi des Animaux across the course. 3 lengths back, Artie Schiller is fourth on the inside. Singletary is fifth. Limehouse is sixth. And then it's Whipper seventh, followed by Major's Cast, who's moving comfortably, while eighth. Gorilla on hold, ninth toward the inside. An unhurried Velixer. And 3 lengths back to Host. And pulled up there was Funfair. Around the far turn, the quarter 23 and 2. The half was 46 and 3. Odd Valorum has come away with the lead. It is Odd Valorum in front, but Le Roi des Animaux looms large on the outside. The daunting presence of the favorite right there. Here comes last year's winner Singletary, and he's moving very comfortably indeed as they come toward the top of the stretch. Artie Schiller's in behind horses. Whipper's there. Limehouse on the outside. Gorilla in behind horses. Le Roi des Animaux and Odd Valorum nip and tuck. Artie Schiller right behind him. Gorilla trying to come through on the inside. Singletary is there. Limehouse, Major's Cast coming hard on the far outside. Host coming through on the rail, but was stymied. The final 16th. Le Roi des Animaux. Artie Schiller's right on top of him, and Artie Schiller's in front. Gorilla comes up the inside, and Whipper. Artie Schiller won by 3/4 of a length. The 3-way photo for second among Gorilla, Le Roi des Animaux, and Whipper.
Artie Schiller, one of the New York fan favorites. He was one of the choices in this race last year. Disappointed that day. Garrett Gomez gets the call and gets the victory here from just off the pace. He didn't start particularly well, but he got himself into good position early, was in contention at the top of the stretch, and was able to launch a nice bid that carried him to nearly a 3/4 length victory over the favorite Le Roi des Animaux, Gorilla, who had an absolutely terrible trip. She was steadied in behind Funfair when that horse was unfortunately, he did break down and was pulled up, had a little bit further trouble on the turn. She was moving like a winner on the far turn, but again had more trouble, got stuck in traffic again in the late stages. Choice was made to go inside by Gary Stevens. If she had gotten clear, it looked like she might have been able to kick clear very impressively. Unfortunately, she has to settle for the 3rd spot. Sad news coming out of this race. Unfortunately, Funfair, who you see drop rather precipitously to the back of the pack under Edgar Prado, did have to be euthanized as the result of injuries suffered in that race. He did break down, rather strange and unusual breakdown in the hind quarters. He did have a hind leg break on him, so unfortunate news certainly coming out of this race, and certainly frightening experience for Edgar Prado, who was heading into this race with a kind of an interesting long shot, one that I liked and one who had, interestingly enough, beaten Artie Schiller in their final meeting. The winner, Artie Schiller, a bay colt, a son of El Prado from Hidden Light by Majestic Light, was bred in Kentucky by Aras de Mesre. He's owned by Timber Bay Farm and Mrs. Thomas Walsh. He is trained by Jimmy Jerkins, ridden to victory by Gary Gomez. Artie Schiller covers the mile at Belmont Park in 136 flat. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Distaff. 9 furlongs for fillies and mares. Pretty much anybody who's everybody who's anybody in the division did manage to show up. It was a full field. Let's head back down to New York in the running of the Distaff.
They are in the gate for the Distaff. And they're off. A good beginning in mid-pack there for Island Fashion, and it is Island Fashion out for a short lead. Cape Side Lady right there on the outside. Healthy Addiction trying to ease off that early pace. On the inside, Stellar Jane comes on through, and Yolanda B2 is in the early mix. Yashato right up there. So the field moves up the backstretch. Yashato had to steady just a bit in traffic. It's Cape Side Lady, who from post 13 has taken the lead. Stellar Jane on the inside. Yolanda B2 now moves up to be second. Healthy Addiction is third. Island Fashion far outside, up and on the pace in fourth. Stellar Jane, the Gray Fillies, fifth toward the inside. Yashato is running sixth, and she's only 2 lengths from the lead. Happy Tickets right alongside her in seventh. And then it's on the outside, Hollywood Story in 8th position, followed by Society Selection, who's rating nicely, only 6 lengths from the leaders, followed by Nothing But Fun, then a break of 4 back to In the Gold, Pleasant Home, and Sweet Symphony. Down the back stretch, the half goes in a solid 46 1/5 seconds. Cape Side Lady blazing the way with less than a half mile to go here. Long shot, Yolanda B2 under the whip already. Stellar Jane on the inside. There goes Happy Ticket. Happy Ticket with a bold move, an assertive move on the far turn, and a Shadow's kicking in. She'll have to thread her way through in between horses. Here comes a Shadow now. Johnny Velasquez asking her for more run. On the inside, Society Selection, only 3 lengths from the lead. As the field turns for home in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, it is Cape Side Lady, a Shadow shoulder to shoulder here with Society Selection, who's in very tight. Here's Pleasant Home on the outside, who runs by them all. Pleasant Home in front, leaving a Shadow, a champion, left in her wake. Look at Pleasant Home roll home. Pleasant Home is going to win this with a huge performance this afternoon. It is Pleasant Home, a 30-1 shocker in the distaff. She wins by 8 lengths over Society Selection. A Shadow could manage only third today, and Stellar Jane was fourth.
Pleasant Home shocking them all with a huge win at 30-1. Coming off a second behind Pampered Princess, who had been pre-entered, would have been a long shot in this spot, but she got the pace that she needed. She was well back off of horses, but made a huge move on the far turn to get into contention. By the top of the stretch, she was striking the lead, and nobody was going with her after a rather brisk early pace that involved a couple of pretty nice horses like Cape Side Lady and others. She had absolutely nothing. She had nothing left. A Shadow had nothing left. It was all Pleasant Home. Society Selection under Edgar Prado making that terrific move up the rail to get second over a Shadow. Stellar Jane, who was kind of hedged in inside under complete cover by Frankie Dettori, had to settle for the fourth spot in this full field of 13. The winner, Pleasant Home, a dark bay or brown daughter of Seeking the Gold from our country place by Pleasant Colony, was bred by the Phipps Stable in Kentucky, owned by the Phipps Stable, and trained by Shug McGahee. Ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez. Pleasant Home covers the 9 furlongs at Belmont in 1:48.1. Next up, the Breeders' Cup Turf. Always a race that is plays towards the strengths of the Europeans. Look like a solid contingent coming over here to take on the Americans here at Belmont, where they have been very successful in the past. Let's head back down to New York in the Breeders' Cup Turf.
Ready for the start of the Breeders' Cup Turf. And they're off. Shake the Bank from his inside post, racing toward the lead. And Bago has come away second. Chiraco's in between those two. Azamor tucks in behind the Rabbit, now running along in fourth, and toward the outside, Leprechaun Kid. So it's Shake the Bank who is the early leader, but he's not running particularly fast for a Rabbit. He's opened up 2.5 lengths as they make their long run into that first turn. And Chiraco runs along in second. English Channel and Shakespeare together. They're running third and fourth. Leprechaun Kid will be caught 4 wide into the turn. He's now fifth. Bago races in sixth. Gun Salute is seventh. And Azamor, the tepid favorite, is eighth toward the inside. Ireland's Ace is running along in ninth. Better Talk Now, the defending champion, is 10th as his stablemate sets the table for him. That one's followed by 49er Son, Laura's Lucky Boy, and Silverfoot at the back of the pack. So in the meantime, Shake the Bank hops out there to a 7-length lead, gets a half in 47 4/5 seconds. He's isolated, doing his job as the pacemaker. Now he's got an 8-length lead. Unconcerned with that is Chiraco, who sits chilly while running along in second. Shakespeare is off the rail and in the clear in third. English Channel's right alongside Shakespeare. Bago is unhurried at this juncture, running comfortably down the backstretch with 6.5 furlongs to go here. And then on the outside, it's Leprechaun Kid Gun Salute. Ace, very eager to go on, and Ace is well held there by Kieran Fallon midway down the backstretch run. Better Talk Now, still lingering at the back of the pack, still relatively unhurried. Ozimor has also found a comfort zone with about 5 furlongs to go here. Silverfoot, 49er Son, and Laura's Lucky Boy. They're starting to whittle away at that lead of Shake the Bank. He ran 3/4 in 1:13 and now the field on the far turn. Here they come now, and Scirocco driving into second. English Channel right there on the outside third. Ace continues to run on well. Just in behind the lead is Ace, and he comes off the edge past the tiring Shake the Bank. Here's Better Talk Now. Better Talk Now is rocketing up toward the leaders on the outside, and 49er Son is following him, and Bago's kicking in, and so too is Ozimor. So they're coming to the top of the stretch, and it's Scirocco the leader with 2 furlongs to go. Ireland's Ace punched through on the inside. Now second, English Channel is third. Last year's ARC winner Bago fourth toward the inside. Better Talk Now is toiling, he's laboring, not going to get it done today. Ozimor coming with a furious rally. It's Scirocco to catch. Ace, Bago, a late run on the outside by Ozimor, but it's going to be Scirocco. Scirocco wins it. And a kiss from Frenchman Christophe Simeon. He's delirious with joy after his victory with Scirocco.
It was a sweep in the top 4 spots by the Europeans, including Scirocco on top, 8.5 to 1. Finished very impressively last time out in the Arc de Triomphe, and only his second start back off of the or for the season. And long layoff obviously did him well. He improved nicely under Christophe Simeon, who was very patient, sitting right behind Shake the Bank as that one opened up a big lead. Never moved, and when that one faded, nobody came and got Scirocco. He kind of fell into the victory, but a very nice effort indeed. Ace, a big improvement with Kieran Fallon in the irons after his disappointing performance last time out. He got the covered up trip that he liked, made a nice bid, and finished second. The favorite in the field, just under 4 to 1, was Ozimor. He had been regarded as one of the best in Europe, and he did run very nicely on a surface labeled good. Got a little firmer going than perhaps had been anticipated. He did get bet, and he did run well to finish third. Bago coming in off of a solid try in the Arc, also running on well through the stretch to finish fourth. The winner, Scirocco, is a bay colt, a son of Monson, from So Sedulous by the Minstrel, bred in Germany by Baron Georg von Elman and owned by the breeder, trained by Andre Fabre and ridden to victory by Christophe Simeon. Scirocco covers the 1.5 miles on that good turf course in 2:29.1. Next up, of course, the Breeders' Cup Classic, the big race on the day, $4 million, 1.25 miles for the older horses. Let's head back to Belmont and the running of the Breeders' Cup Classic.
They're in the gate and ready for the start. And they're off. And Sun King breaks quickly from the inside. He's going after the lead, and so too is Suave. And Flower Alley very keen early on today. So those 3 will vie for the early lead, with Perfect Drift running along in 4th. And Jerry Bailey puts St. Liam up in the 5th position on the outside. And then it's Sir Shackleton running 6th as his stablemate leads the way. Oratorio is 7th toward the inside. Super Frolic is 8th. And then the pent-up power of Borrego running in 9th position. A Bit of Gold is 10th on the outside. Starcraft is well held at the back of the pack, along with Jack Sullivan and the latent power of Choctaw Nation, the last of 14. The opening quarter went in 23 4/5 seconds, and it's Sun King hounded by Suave down the backstretch run. Flower Alley lets the speed duel develop before him, running in 3rd position. The half mile goes in 47 3/5 seconds. The pace is reasonable. Farther back in the field, it's St. Liam. He's running along in 4th now. Oratorio moves through on the inside. Super Frolic with an aggressive move 5 furlongs out. Perfect Drift is running along in 7th position. Starcraft has made steady progress down the backstretch run. He is now 8th and covered up in behind horses as they round the far turn, and there's 4 furlongs left in the Breeders' Cup Classic. They ran 3/4 in 1:12.1, and around the far turn, Sun King Suave, Flower King hovering just outside him, Flower Alley just outside the lead, running in 3rd. St. Liam is there. Super Frolic down toward the inside, in with a fighting chance. He's only 2 lengths from the lead as they come to the top of the stretch, and then it's Perfect Drift. Oratorio Memorial will come through on the inside. Starcraft is laboring, and Choctaw Nation begins to roll up on the far outside, and they head for home in the Classic. Here's St. Liam, exhorted to the lead by Jerry Bailey. They're in front with 1 furlong to go. Flower Alley fighting him stubbornly all the way. A pitched battle with the 16th to go. On the outside, Perfect Drift Suave, they're coming down to the line, and St. Liam has won the 22nd Breeders' Cup Classic. Flower Alley was second, Perfect Drift was third, Super Frolic and Suave.
St. Liam, despite the post position, and everybody talks about how bad it is to be out there, but all of the Belmont Breeders' Cup Classics have been won from wide post positions. St. Liam, a speed horse, getting into the race, never closer than about 4 out from the rail. This guy really wide every step of the way, never getting into a covered up position, but Jerry Bailey able to get him to relax, made the bid on the far turn, struck the lead at the top of the stretch. Flower Alley offered considerable resistance. I have to say I was very impressed with his performance, and one of my old buddies, Perfect Drift, completing the top 3. Perfect Drift has been a gamer for so many years. He's been a super solid campaigner. Now at the age of 6, still out there and still running very, very well here, picking up yet another big check in a $4 million race. Super Frolic, 70-1, sitting around fourth spot after a bad stumbling start. The winner, St. Liam, is a 5-year-old bay horse, a son of St. Bellato from Quiet Dance by Quiet American. He was bred in Kentucky by Edward P. Evans and is owned by Mr. and Mrs. William Warren Jr., trained by Richard Dutrow Jr. and ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. St. Liam covers the 1.25 miles, the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2:01 2. We are going to pause for one more brief message, and we do have some racing action to bring to you from Sunday as well. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. The Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Who is this woman? A world-class tennis player? A famous fashion model? No, this is Diane Nelson, one of the nation's top-ranked jockeys. When Diane rides, she wants the best horse. And when Diane has a day off, she wants the best entertainment. And that's at the Teletheater Clubhouse.
If you haven't been to the Teletheater Clubhouse yet, you're missing something. It's really for everyone. Bring your friends, your family, and come on down.
The Teletheater Clubhouse, Central Avenue, Albany.
Back to horses and courses. We did have 3 stakes races at Belmont on Sunday to finish off the Breeders' Cup week. They kicked off with the Tempted Stakes for 2-year-old fillies at a flat mile Grade 3 competition. Let's head back to Belmont and the running of the Tempted.
In the gate, and they are off. And on the inside, it's Capote's Crown is racing for the early lead. On the outside, Wonder Lady Ann L is there, and in between those two, it's Sparkling Pink. Up the backstretch, Capote Crown in front, Sparkling Pink second, Wonder Lady Ann L is third. On the far outside, Bella Fortuna just off the pace, and on the outside running along in fourth. Ginny is fifth, Swap Flipperoo sixth, and moving through on the inside. 5 lengths back to the trailer Better Now. They zip through a quarter there in 22 and 4, chasing Capote's Crown down the backstretch run. Capote's Crown remains off the rail. There's an inviting opening at the inside for Swap Flipperoo, who comes through now to be second. Wonder Lady Ann L now continues on and has now reclaimed second position. On the outside, Bella Fortuna now runs along in third. Swap Flipperoo has lost a couple spots, is now back in fourth. Ginny is fifth, about 4 or 5 lengths from the lead. Then farther back, it's Sparkling Pink and Better Now as they move toward the top of the stretch. The half went in 46 seconds flat. Wonder Lady Ann L getting on even terms with Capote's Crown. Those two are head-to-head as they turn for home. On the outside, Better Now is rallying, and rallying strongly is Better Now as the field turns for home. It's Capote's Crown with a tenuous lead as Better Now rolls up on the far outside, and Better Now rolls on by. Better Now has taken command. Capote's Crown is second. Wonder Lady Ann L is a fatigued third, and they're coming down to the finish, and it will be Better Now with authority. Capote's Crown finished second. Wonder Lady Ann L was third.
Better Now, again, a filly they decided to keep out of Breeders' Cup competition, and much to their advantage, getting a 6-1 victory by 3.5 lengths with a 4-wide bid under Javier Castellano over Capote's Crown with Wonder Lady NL, finishing in the 3rd spot after tracking the pace in the early going. The winner, Better Now, is a bay 2-year-old daughter of Thunder Gulch from Scenic Point by Unbridled. She was bred in Kentucky by Lee Lewis and is owned by the breeder, trained by Mark Hennig and ridden by Javier Castellano. Pedigree like that, I would imagine that she should handle the stretch out quite nicely as the distances get longer. Better Talk Now covers the flat mile at Belmont in 1:38.1. We're going to head back to Belmont now in the running of the Grade 2 First Flight for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Let's head back to New York and the First Flight.
And they're off. Petito out for the lead, but quickly there goes Smoky Glacken to grab it. Smoky Glacken in front. Petito is second. Great Intentions third. Travelator on the far outside is fourth. Fifth Overture is fifth in between horses. And then it's Arik. And at the back of the pack early on are Hobby Boo and Lila. Up the back stretch, chasing Smoky Glacken, who remains off the rail with the lead. Petito not far behind. Just to their outside, it's Great Intentions third through a quarter in 23 1/5 seconds. Travelator on the outside now fourth. Arik fifth. And then it's Lila, Habby Boo, and Fifth Overture, the trailer. Around the far turn, it's still Smoky Glacken in front. Smoky Glacken the leader. Petito turning up that pressure now. Great Intentions on the outside third. Arik getting underway after a half in 46 1/5 seconds. Lila is now fifth in between horses, floating Travelator wide into the stretch. They hit the top of the lane, and it's still Smoky Glacken. Smoky Glacken coming to the 8th pole with the lead. On the outside, Great Intentions. Arik is closing ground, and veering out there was the front runner, Smoky Glacken, and now it's Great Intentions who's taken the lead, and Great Intentions is going to win it. Going away at the end as Hobby Boo got up for second. Smoky Glacken faded late, wound up third.
Great Intentions, a very impressive victory by her by 3 lengths, just off the early pace set by Smoky Glacken. They were split by Habby Boo, who made her usual off-the-pace rallying move after having a little bit of trouble. She ran into a little bit of traffic and still rallied on nicely to get the second spot by a neck over rival Smoky Glacken. The winner, Great Intentions, is a bay daughter of Cat Thief from Packet by Polish Navy. She was bred in Kentucky by Alex Rankin, R. Lenahan, and P. Lenahan. She's owned by Barry Schwartz and trained by Mike Hushin, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Great Intentions covers the 7 furlongs at Belmont in 1:23.4. We're going to head back to the Belmont Turf Course now for one more. That's the Knickerbocker Handicap. It was postponed from Friday's card because they wanted to keep it on the turf course. $150,000 Grade 3 on the turf. Let's head back to New York in the running of the Knickerbocker.
And they're off. At the fence, it's Certifiably Crazy racing to the lead at a very quick early clip there. And Cottage will run with Certifiably Crazy. And We All Love Elena's on the far outside. A little hard to handle. And Rank is We All Love Elena in the early stages here. Running in third. Ecclesiastic is fourth. Battle Chant fifth. Rousing Victory is sixth. And then it's Sir Walter Rahi, seventh toward the inside. Request for Parole is eighth. Latino Magic at the back of the pack along with Atlando. So up the backstretch here, 25 flat was that opening quarter on the backstretch run, and it's Certifiably Crazy being prompted by Cottage. Still Keen, We All Love Elena on the far outside. 2 lengths back to Battle Chant, Ecclesiastic fifth toward the inside. Rousing Victory, Sir Walter Rahi, Request for Parole, Latino Magic, and Atlando. There's 5 furlongs to go. The opening half mile went in 50 1/5 seconds. And it's still Certifiably Crazy and Cottage running 1-2. We All Love Elena continues on the outside while third. Battle Chant races in 4th position. Sir Walter Rahi now being asked to pick it up as they round the far turn. Rousing Victory advances. Sir Walter Rahi still running along in 6th. Ecclesiastic 7th on the inside, but no real running room there for Ecclesiastic, who has saved ground, now about 5 lengths from the lead. In the meantime, Request for Parole will take the overland route. Latino Magic
near the back of a very tight pack that turns for home at the top of the lane. Certifiably Crazy and an onslaught of challengers. Battle chant down on the inside. We All Love Elena is there. Rousing Victory. Atlando on the far outside into the final 16th. Certifiably Crazy is still there. Atlando comes with a flying finish. It's going to be a photo that goes to Atlando. Atlando won it. Certifiably Crazy was second. Close for third. Rousing Victory. And We All Love Elena.
Atlando making his American debut, a winning one in Stakes Company by a neck over the game New York bred Certifiably Crazy, who had set the pace every step of the way, but the final jump or two, 11-1 outsider Rousing Victory moving back into Stakes Company and finishing in the third spot with a trip that carried him 3 wide every step of the way. The winner, Atlando, is a bay gelded son of Hernando from Atlantic Blue by Nureyev. He was bred in Ireland by the Skymark Farm and is owned by Gary Tanaka. Trained by Pascal Barry and ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, Atlando covers the mile and an eighth on the Belmont turf in 1:50 and 4. That's going to wrap up a busy weekend's worth of racing from Horses and Courses. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you'll be able to join us again once again next week. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.